Hi, I would like to talk a little bit about how Diego has helped me. So a year ago, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. My blood sugar levels were off, unstable, ran high, shortness of breath, fatigue. I couldn't sleep at night. I was up and down all night. Swelling was incredible. I couldn't stand throughout the day. I would be up for about an hour or two, long enough to get my kids to school, and then I felt that I needed to rest because the swelling was just so bad. I started with a functional medicine doctor elsewhere, and I didn't get the results that I was looking for. So I continued to search for somebody else. Then one day, randomly, Diego popped up in my Instagram feed. So I watched him for a while and thought about it. Like, this guy just really seems like he knows what he's doing. So I reached out to him. Best decision that I made for myself. My energy has been incredible. Sorry, I get emotional. My energy's been incredible. I couldn't keep up with my children, and now I'm able to keep up with my children, which was what I needed. I can sleep at night. I'm not exhausted in the morning. I'm happier. I'm emotional because I had given up hope. I didn't think that this was going to happen for me. I thought this was just going to be the way of life. Best decision, like I said, that I ever made. If you're struggling with your health, you're struggling with hormones, you're struggling with menopause, like myself, all of those things, Hashimoto's, thyroid, all of it, give Diego a try. You will never, ever be disappointed, ever. Thank you so much, Diego, for giving me my life back, and my children are so much happier. Thank you.
Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about my experience with working with Diego a few months ago, because the dude truly helped me with so much that I thought was never going to get fixed. I was dealing with horrible migraines and I could not figure them out. Like, they were so bad. I had them every single day for 6 months straight, to the point where I got so freaked out I ended up getting an MRI. Went to so many doctors. People wanted to push medication and like the migraine shot on me, and I wanted something that was a permanent fix, not a quick fix. So that's why I really liked Diego's approach, and how he wants to help you naturally heal things through the inside out by healing the gut, your hormones. I've also been recovering from coming off the birth control pill 2 years ago. I was on it for 10 years and I've had a lot of complications since I went off of it. I developed PCOS and endometriosis symptoms. I struggle with a lot of digestive issues. My sleep was horrible. My energy levels were horrible. And I just remember telling him, I'm like, I have a lot of issues, and I listed all those for him, but I told him, I'm like, I would be just so, like, my life would be changed if, like, you could at least help me fix, like, my migraines. Like, I don't know what to do anymore. They're so painful, and it was ruining every single day. I couldn't even go to the gym. And we started off with, like, a gut detox, which he works through the whole thing with you. He hopped on calls and explained everything in detail so that I would understand what was going on, if we needed to adjust things along the way based off my life and what was happening and how I was feeling. Like, he was right there and adjusted everything, and through supplements and whole foods and a solid plan with Diego and a lot of education on what was happening in my body. Little adjustments here and there with our supplements. Like, within 2 weeks, I was done having migraines, and from someone who was having them for 6 months straight every single day, to say that I haven't had a migraine in over 3 months now is amazing. But even outside of that, like, during the detox and healing my gut with him, like, I was sleeping like a baby. I was waking up so energized. Like, I felt like I had energy throughout the whole day instead of wanting to take a freaking nap every 2 seconds. My lifts at the gym were so much better. Like, I was actually able to lift without being in pain. My digestion is just on point. I don't have any bloating. Honestly, I really enjoyed, like, his whole food approach too, and I feel like I implement a lot more of those into my diet now, even post working with him, and I'm still just feeling great, and I've been able to sustain everything that he showed me. So if you're struggling with anything and you go to doctors and they tell you you need meds, or they can't fix you, or they just temporary band-aid you, and then a month later you still have the same issue, like, I highly recommend just talking to Diego. I hopped on a call with him before I worked with him just to hear what he had to say, and that really helped me see his plan and what he could do for me. And so I recommend at least doing that with him, and yeah, the dude can change your life. So go for it if you struggle with any of the same things as me.
I started working with Diego Reyes about a week and a half ago. My issues were fatigue, bloating, bad thyroid, insomnia, sore, just soreness, no energy, not feeling like doing anything, having a hard time getting up to even go to work. I was so tired in the morning. No matter how many hours of sleep I got, I was tired. And my nephew hooked me up with Diego, and in just a week and a half from following the meal plan and the fitness plan and the routines and the walking and I can fit it into my daily schedule every day. I still work a full-time job and I'm able to do all of this, and I just feel so much better. I have more energy than I've had in years. I used to struggle to get out of bed by 6:45, 7 o'clock to be to work at 8, and now I'm up between 5 and 5:30, and I start my daily routine, and by 7, I have to leave my house at 7:30. I'm usually ready to go by 7 now, and it's just been amazing. And so anyone who wants to feel better, who doesn't want to feel bloated, who wants good gut health, who wants their energy back.
Hi, my name is Kathleen, and I just started Coach Diego's program about a month ago with the intention of regulating my thyroid levels. But it seems since then, I have learned that we are also targeting the entire hormonal system, which benefits me greatly because I have PCOS as well, which is also known as polycystic ovarian syndrome. And in the last 2 weeks recently, I've been noticing that I'm more upbeat at work, where I work as a nurse with 12-hour shifts, and I've been able to handle stress more gracefully and accept challenges. There have been compliments from my coworkers that I have had more energy. I greatly value his philosophy of working from within without. I think it's so important to see how important it is that the body needs to heal inside first for it to show externally. Coach Diego has been very, very patient with me from the start, and my need to go slow, which I truly greatly appreciate. And I know that he has a lot of knowledge for someone who looks so youthful, but it just gives me confidence that he's credible for what he preaches is what he actually does for himself.
Hey guys, I just wanted to hop on here and share my experience with Diego's program over the last 13 weeks. I don't generally make videos like this, but anytime I get asked about my fitness journey, I get very excited. And I just want to share this feeling with everyone. I want others to be able to experience this as well. So let me tell you, it has been a life-changing journey, both physically and mentally. So I've always had an interest in fitness, but the long-term commitment wasn't there. That was a struggle for me. My energy and drive would just fizzle out. So over the summer, I reached a breaking point. I realized I needed help. I was dealing with constant migraines, feeling sleepy after I ate. I'd gained a lot of weight around my midsection. I lost muscle. I had terrible acid reflux and no energy to work out. So mentally, I was struggling. Anxiety was hitting me hard. My self-esteem was super low. I was constantly stressed, and I felt overstimulated all the time. Even when I tried to relax, my anxiety would just ramp up. So when I reached out to Diego and he suggested a video meeting, honestly, I was super skeptical. I thought, this sounds way too good to be true. I don't even know this guy. Why would I even trust him? But I was desperate, and I thought, if I don't take action now, then when am I gonna do it? So I started the program, and I won't lie, it wasn't easy, but week after week, I started noticing small changes, and those little wins gave me the motivation to just keep pushing forward. And so here I am, 13 weeks later, no more migraines, no more acid reflux, a major decrease in anxiety, and a plus. Let me just say my libido has skyrocketed. So I know my husband's thankful for that. So the biggest shift for me though was my confidence boost. I still have a long way to go, but I feel excited when I think about my fitness journey in the future. So if you're on the fence about trying something like this, let me tell you, you're not gonna regret it. It's not going to be easy, but if you're ready to commit and truly become the best version of yourself, it's absolutely 100% worth it. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for me. And I'm so grateful for the changes that I've already experienced and seen in myself. So don't wait on it. This is your opportunity to change. Take that first step. Your future self is going to thank you for it.
Hi everyone. So I wanted to talk to you about Diego and complete vitality. I started working with Diego a little over a week ago. My main concerns when I came to him were my thyroid, because I have Hashimoto's that runs within my family history, and also gut issues. Just within this short amount of time, I literally feel like a brand new person by following his plan that he had constructed for me. I have so much more energy. I literally feel like $1,000,000, and I cannot wait to see what my body transforms into within 3, 4, 5 months down the road working with him. It's going to be life-changing. Diego is insanely knowledgeable. He is so resourceful. He works with both male and female. He's very knowledgeable about the female body and like the different issues that we experience with our thyroid, PCOS, different gut issues. You name it, like Diego knows what he's doing. And if you want to take a leap of faith and put your trust into somebody to help to basically invest on your health, Diego's the guy to do it. You will not be disappointed. His results are absolutely guaranteed. And most people see the results, if you put the work in, most people see the results within a few days to a week. So if you have any sort of health issues at all, and you need somebody to be in your corner and make it feel like, and make you feel heard, Diego's your man. Give him a shot. You won't regret it.
Reyes here, functional health coach, functional nutritionist, and today I'm with my incredible client, Claudia, all the way here in Midland, Texas. Claudia's going to go over her amazing success that she's had with me. Take it away.
Yeah, so I met Diego in July of last year, since July, and I feel really grateful that I was able to find him, because a lot of things have changed since I started the program. I was dealing with a lot of heartburn, a lot of acid reflux, a lot of gut issues, low energy, low libido, just not finding the motivation and the energy to get up and work out and start something. I needed something structured, and he was able to offer me that structured program so that I can get things moving and get things started. The last 9 months, I've changed so much, not just physically, but also internally. Like, my confidence is, I've never been this confident before. I've never felt just so at peace. My anxiety is gone. I have so much energy. I'm just so different. A lot of times I don't recognize myself, and then a lot of times I'm also like, this is who I've been searching for when I look in the mirror, because there was a point in the time when I looked in the mirror and I was like, who are you? Like, who am I supposed to be? And now that I see myself, I see me. I see Claudia, as opposed to seeing a stranger. So aside from all of that, I've also gained muscle. I've leaned out. So when Diego first reached out to me, I was actually really skeptical about just the whole situation. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a scam. So I know that it can be really weird and really off-putting to work with a male coach that you find on social media or, you know, wherever you find his page, Facebook, it can be really awkward. It can be really weird, maybe uncomfortable, but it's been really great to have him there, offering me that structured plan, that support, you know, at any time of the day. If I have a question regarding my meal plan or a question regarding my workouts or my form for my workouts, he's always there to answer those questions, always there to guide me in anything that I may have trouble with. So if you've been thinking about, you know, starting your fitness journey, I highly suggest that you give Diego an opportunity, watch his video, and just find out more about him, more information, and I promise you will not regret it.
How's it going? My name is Blake,
Ashley.
and we're just going to talk a little bit about our 4 months with Diego Reyes' health journey so far in partnership with Complete Vitality. So 4 months ago now, almost 4 months ago, December 16th, we decided we had enough with the way that our lives were going. I was pushing 300 pounds. She doesn't have to say where she was at, but let's just say we weren't in the healthiest of conditions for ourselves, and we were not really setting a good example for our children.
Yeah, like Blake said, we were just not healthy. I had been diagnosed with thyroid or hypothyroidism about 10 years ago and just was at a breaking point because no matter what I was doing, taking my medicine, eating clean, eating everything I was supposed to not eat, you know, or eating healthy supposedly, and just not feeling the energy, not able to sleep. No matter what I did, I just was not losing weight, just at a breaking point. And we decided to contact Diego after seeing a fellow friend just go through some amazing changes working with him, that we both decided it was time to do something for our health so that we could be here for our children in the future.
Since I was maybe 14, 15 years of age, I had real bad gut issues with acid reflux, just real bad heartburn in general. And within the first 10 to 15 days, after Diego kind of guided me through that, I was able to leave all of that behind. I didn't have any more acid reflux. I didn't have any heartburn of any kind. I was able to leave all of the omeprazole, the antacids, altogether. This is coming from somebody who used to take 1 or 2 a day just to get by. So that was pretty good. Speaking of kiddos, sorry, had to pause that one kind of short. But yeah, so omeprazole every day for many, many years, from the time I was 13 to almost 33. So come to find out, Diego taught us that really destroys and disrupts internal stomach linings. And so that was pretty good knowledge. We learned quite a bit about our internal gastrointestinal tract through his GI maps that he had us do. So we really learned a lot about the ins and outs of our bodies, literally the inside, and how we can start sensitivities, allergies, and we really got down to the root cause of what was causing all of our health issues and metabolic issues.
And then for me, so, you know, Blake was able to get off medicine, like he said, immediately, almost 10 days out. And me, thyroid was my biggest issue, that low energy. Insomnia was crazy. I could not sleep no matter how tired my body got. It was just all over the place. Even hunger. I was not hungry, yet I was constantly gaining weight. So within those 10 days also, like Blake, that first week, just what Diego calls the flush, just trying to get our body clean, detox it, so that we can find out what the root cause of our issues is. I mean, just within those 10 days, the swelling and inflammation that I experienced was crazy. Like, just in pictures, you could tell a huge difference. I started feeling better. I started sleeping through the night. Probably about 10 days in, I would say. Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, about 10 days I noticed a big difference in not only sleep patterns, but coming out of sleep, waking up in the mornings and just feeling more rested.
Yeah, I hated mornings. Like, I was not a morning person just because I didn't feel like I ever got enough rest. But just working on eating healthier, focused about 10 days, and it was night and day. It was such a big difference.
So after those first 30 days after we had already completed our flush and after we had started our workout regimens, I started to notice a huge increase in energy. Metabolism as well was starting to ramp back up. Being able to eat, whole foods throughout the day, staying fuller longer, not craving so much the junk foods that that was a major part of my life. That was a big deal. And of course, the inches started coming off, the weight started coming off, and that was super inspirational. And then after the second month, just the overall feeling of strength and the overall feeling of just confidence in that what we were doing was in fact working. We take weekly pictures to be able to track our progress, not just what the weight scale says. We learned early on that that's not the most important thing. What's important is how you feel, how your clothes are fitting, and what you can see in pictures. And, we're parents, both of us, and, that lifestyle is not anything that's easy. Raising kids and working and then trying to, prioritize health. But Diego tailored the program to fit our needs and tailored the program to fit our lifestyle. And we were still seeing very good results.
And thanks to Diego just being able to tailor that program to us, we needed that. We needed that structure, that eating schedule with, meal suggestions, and then that workouts. Just a structure was really what we needed. But for me, I can say I had a huge win about 2 months in with Diego. Again, I had been on thyroid medicine, levothyroxine, and Synthroid back and forth for 10 years. And I was just due for my labs. I had not been taking my medicine just since I started with Diego and, was taking the supplements and eating healthier that he had recommended for my specific issue. And I went to get my labs checked and went to see my doctor specialist, and they were shocked because my labs came back the best they had ever been. In fact, I left that appointment and they told me, you no longer need to take your medicine because your thyroid is functioning. You are basically in remission, even though it's not. Everything was working there. Like, there's no need for you to see us because you're back to where you need to. That was my huge win accomplishment before even the physical. It was getting off of that medicine that I had been on for 10 years.
So yeah, that's pretty much up to the first 2 months. Now these last 2 months, like I mentioned, we're nearing the end of month 4. The next 2 months after that were pretty substantial as well. Our children were noticing our habits that we were creating, the culture that we were instilling in the house. And we never wanted to force anything on them. We didn't want to change anything about how they were enjoying their little snacks or anything like that. This was more for us and our longevity and being here longer for our kids. But what's interesting enough is good habits are caught, not taught. So they started to catch on what we were doing, and they would try to mimic the way we were lifting weights, or, they would ask, is this a healthy item or is this healthier? So these are not things that we were impressing onto them or, trying to force them to learn. These are things that they were just catching on to. So that was probably the first and foremost thing that we saw that was pretty neat and beneficial to our household. And then outside of that, coworkers start to notice a difference in your daily attitude or the day, how you carry yourself. Our parents on her side and my side were starting to ask, what are y'all doing? We can see differences in y'all. And then of course friends, past that, they would ask, hey, y'all are doing something, aren't y'all? Keep it up, this, that, and the other. So it was noticeable. Your whole identity starts to change. Once you start to really get into the groove of things, you start being able to use your new mindset when going grocery shopping, when going out to eat. You're wanting to stay home, at least in our case, wanting to stay home and cook more because that's going to be a more beneficial way to take care of yourself throughout the week, have less guesswork and more prep work. Just something that we've really started to implement in this household.
So yeah, cooking definitely changed labels. There's so many things that Diego taught us, just looking at these labels and what is actually in the food we're putting into ourselves, and it's become our lifestyle. We can now shop and cook and do things, and everything feel good about what we're putting in ours, and our bodies really do feel a difference. It's crazy. Even with coffee, we used to live off of it, and now it's kind of like a treat, and it does what it's supposed to. It gives us that energy that we need. But we're not depending on it anymore. But even more results for me now, I can really notice it just being off of this medicine for so long. I'm almost down 18 pounds, not quite there yet, but it's not even about the pounds. It's with the working out and how we've been doing our life. It's our shaping up of our bodies has completely changed. It's physical, but it's also mental. That's another big win for me. Just mental healing, even though we were working on our physical, it's all connected.
And I guess to summarize or wrap it up, I know we're over 10 minutes now, but we're going to try to make this as painless as possible. It really is about changing your lifestyle completely over. It's not about how much weight you're losing. It's not about any of that. It's about changing your internals to be healthier. Everything you fix on the inside, it'll show on the outside. And that's what we learned early on. We were so fixated on a number that Diego made it very clear to us in the beginning. That's not what any of this is about. That we're going to be discouraged if that's what we're trying to chase. But no,
it wasn't a quick 90-day fix. That was one thing he immediately told us. Like, I'm not guaranteeing you losing all this weight in 90 days, because it's not about the weight loss. It's about healthy lifestyles inside, healing, literally healing us inside out.
Yep, creating a whole new lifestyle for ourselves and setting those good patterns for our kiddos, and just for longevity, for us to have a better, more healthier life moving forward. So overall, we're very much excited, looking forward to the next 5 months with Diego. That's what we signed on for, and so we're very much excited to see where we go from here. But
more wins,
more wins. We find pleasure in the small wins, the big wins. That's probably what keeps us going, is those little mental wins, those little wins that we just keep looking for them, because they really are. Diego always tells us, give yourself some grace. Life is super tough, super busy. Give yourself those wins, find that grace. That way you don't, lead yourself into discouragement when you do have an off week, because ultimately you are going to have those days where you're off. You're going to have those weeks where it's not as hard hitting as you wanted it to be, but put those behind you, move forward.
And to add to that note, just having a coach to help you through that so that you're not super hard on yourself. It's been really good. I mean, working with Diego, we have to say thank you about that. It's helped us mentally and to adjust. It's not always going to be the same. It's not linear, or I guess that's the right word. We do have ups and downs, just like in life.
Yep. And having Diego as a coach gives us a level of accountability, but also having each other. That's also, we hold each other accountable. There's days I don't want to work out and she gets my butt in gear, and vice versa. So overall, we're learning self-discipline. We're also learning intensity in the right ways. And we're just super thankful to this program with Coach Diego. And that's pretty much it for me.
Sounds good.
All right.